Welcome to this episode brought to you by Malicious Compliance, where a customer wants us to call every hour until their issue is fixed. So a bit of background. I work at a pretty big tech company as a help desk agent, and as any good help desk employee, I've had my fair share of crazy customers, just like this one, who we'll call Karen. We would mainly answer the phone and emails and then log tickets into our system for handling all the issues customers would require us to solve. Each logged ticket would cause the customer to be billed the standard help desk fee, and then it would add up depending on how long it takes, parts needed. I'm sure you get the idea. So let's get on to the story. So one morning, Karen calls in and asks about a ticket that she logged about 2 hours ago. So I log in, go take a look at the status of the ticket, and see it was a pretty standard account request for one of our employees, and it was already being handled by the team that creates these particular accounts. So this account was for an outside system for which we only provide the accounts, and they have their own support for problems. Now, due to synchronization after we create the account, it takes roughly 24 hours for it to be functional, and this is quite well known for all the managers who usually request accounts to be created for them. Now, I inform Karen that the account is being created right now and that she should be getting a confirmation about it soon. I also remind her that it can take up to 24 hours for it to be functional. Now, as soon as I said these things, the tone on her changed immediately, and she informed me quite annoyingly that this was very urgent and that it should be functional faster. We talked for a little while longer, and I explained to her exactly why it takes this long, and she finally seems to understand, and we end the call. Now, about an hour later, one of my colleagues sends me a message asking me if I've talked to this particular lady before, and she tells me she's calling again, angry, and demanding that the account be made faster. Once again, they explain the same things I did, and they end the call. Now, about another hour later, I answer a call, and guess who? Karen again. Even angrier, and practically yelling that the account needs to be created now. Now, being a good little help desk agent, I check the ticket, and I see that the account's been created, so it should be working tomorrow. I tell this to Karen, and she is not happy. Now, she starts to yell all sorts of things, and says this is not how we should do things. And again, I inform her that the system she needs the account for isn't ours, and this is something we can't do anything about, but she won't have it. Then, she calmly informs me that if this is how we do things, then she'll be calling every hour to waste our time until the account is done. I can almost hear the smirk on her face as she says this. Now, even though she's being extremely rude, I didn't want to be and I tried to inform her that every time she calls, we're required to log in a ticket and her company will be charged the standard help desk fee. But as I try to tell her this, she just cuts me off and refuses to listen at this point. I say, alright, call us if you want. So, like a good Karen, she proceeds to call us every hour for the rest of her workday, and the next morning I get a few of her calls, and it's always just a rinse and repeat of the same thing. Is the account ready? Yes, it'll be working within 24 hours. And each time she calls me, or one of my colleagues, we log a ticket and move on. Now, eventually the call stopped, so presumably because either the account was finally fully functional, and we didn't hear from her again. Now, I haven't heard if she got in any trouble for it, but she must have generated quite a bill for her company over nothing.